Alright, let's try this way.
Hey guys, what is going on? So we are at Obannon State Park. This is in southern Indiana. I don't get down here much.
Boy, I don't know, man.
I'm trying to find how to get on the trail. It's actually not exactly sure what the best way is.
Now we're cooking with fire.
Had to make it work. Alright, so we are actually on our way home from a Brevard, North Carolina trip. And instead of going up through Cincinnati and up home that way, I went up through Louisville and then shot over to Obannon in Corydon, Indiana, and wanted to get a ride in. So the family's been riding all the way home, driving all the way home.
Careful on the wood, could be slick.
And I simply just unloaded the e-bike. So this is the giant e-bike that we recently got.
Rocked!
The reason I wanted the e-bike is I wanted to get in and get out as quickly as possible so my family's not sitting at the bottom of the hill for too long. Mike is actually with me. He's on my wife's e-bike. And as you can see, it gets a little rocky. So if you compare Obannon to Brown County, the biggest difference is rock. Obannon brings the rock. And actually, it's really, really fun. I've been here this is my third, maybe fourth time, and I honestly and truly forgot how fun this trail system is. The only downside is it's almost 2.5 hours from where I live in Indianapolis, and it's sometimes hard to justify coming down here for a 12-mile loop. I think you could do the adventure trail too, which I've never done, but the main trail system is 12 miles long. So I guess what I need to do is just come down here and do 2 laps and have a blast. But
where's the trail at?
So this is a group camp trail. It's Black Diamond. As you can see, at first it wasn't too bad, and then it just hits you with a bunch of rocks like that. Let Micah lead for a little bit. So he literally was like sleeping as I was driving home, and I kind of woke him up and said, "Hey, come with me." So he wasn't quite in the mood.
There you go.
As much. So there's actually a certain point where he cuts out, and I just take off by myself.
Your mom would hate this trail.
She does not like a rock. So in case you're wondering, Indiana state parks do allow e-bikes, Class 1 pedal assist e-bikes. So Fort Harrison and Indianapolis, you got Brown County, obviously, Obannon, Versailles, they're all allowed. There was a 1-year test last year, and it seems to have gone well because obviously they're still allowed. I can tell you though, Bentonville is like the mountain bike capital of America, of the world. And there's e-bikes everywhere, and I have yet to have a bad experience with an e-biker down there in Bentonville. If you don't have one down there, I don't know if you're going to have them anywhere. But that's just me. This is not meant to be selling e-bikes, for God's sakes. But what I do want to know, however, is how do you all compare Obannon to Brown County? Because I don't feel like Obannon gets the love. So actually, that's where Micah took off. He took the road, and this is Fire Tower. This is a fast, fun, intermediate trail that just flows right down the ridge. So going back to what I was saying, I want to know if you're watching this trail, or if you're watching this video, comment about your thoughts on Obannon versus Brown County. Obannon does not get the love that I feel like it should. It is a great trail system, and I think the Louisville riders from Louisville really take advantage of Obannon because it's not that far from Louisville, and Indianapolis is a little bit farther. But overall, oh my God, so fun. You got the rocks, you got the jumps, you got the flow, you got some decent cross country. What's nice about Fire Tower is it's not very technical, so you can go as slow as you want on some of these sections, and it's probably not going to be too advanced for a lot of people. If you're still a beginner, take it easy. I'm not quite sure, but I'll give you a flavor as to what to expect. So essentially, you're riding on the ridge with the right-hand side of where I'm at, having some of the exposure. So what you get when you ride an e-bike, for those of you who have not done it, is what I like to call uphill flow. Where you're sitting there and you're pedaling. And I think at one point I quote what my heart rate is on this ride. I'm going and pedaling as hard as I can just to keep my momentum going, partially because I want to get back to the car and head back to Indianapolis because my family's just sitting in the car. But right here, uphill flow, baby. Still gives you a workout.
Whew, that was close.
Not quite sure what that was close for, but I'll trust myself. So you're going to turn left right back there. I turned around right here because that sign where it says loop, remember that. We'll be back. So there is a loop. I do it clockwise, so we're doing this trail system counterclockwise, the big loop, but then we're going to do Rocky Ridge clockwise. Stay with me on this.
Ah. Heart rate 152.
Turn left right there, that goes to the campground. So on average, if I'm on my high tower, I average about a 165 heart rate for like a 2-hour ride. And on the e-bike, I'm usually averaging about, I don't know, about 150. So here's where I discover, hey, there's some jumps right here.
Well, where does that send you?
So you gotta turn around, you gotta send it style, Stego style.
Ooh.
Hard hit. So right here's the fork where you turn right for Rocky Ridge. I'm sitting here thinking, God, do I have time? The kids are back in the car. Screw it, let's go. Send it! Rocky Ridge loop. So the first part is going to be flowy, small jumps, flowing down the hill. And the second part is going to be all tech rock. So like, I mean, that's like Obannon in a nutshell. Flow, jumps, and tech rock. The flow, and now we're cutting across, and you'll see what I'm talking about. This is intermediate, is what MTB Project says, but there's definitely some sections on this that I would probably lean more towards black diamond. You be the judge.
Ah.
Oh, hell. here's the other fun part about this ride. When I hopped on the e-bike, I thought it was charged. I looked down at the beginning of the ride and I have 2 bars left. So typically 5 bars and 2 bars. So what I'm riding with on this, there's actually 5 levels, 5 being like boost. I'm on level 1, which is the lowest level of quote unquote assist that you can do just to get me through 12 miles and climbing, what was it, 1,100 feet. So very little assist on this ride. It was still a blast. And that's the loop.
Ta-da!
So I'm gonna skip back to where I was before, where the jumps where I turned around. So you don't have to see that whole section again because you won't. And then you're gonna hit this jump. We're gonna hang a left instead of a right. Right would be Rocky Ridge, left is Corydon Ridge. So this you've got to climb up. So essentially you climb up a ridge, go down it, climb up it again, and go back down it, and that's essentially the trail. So right now we're climbing up. When you climb up, got more of the rock. How beautiful that is. It's a butte clock. Starting to go back down. This is a fun section. A couple other riders out there taking the safe way down.
Little rocky, eh?
Oh, don't you know?
Have fun, guys. Cool. Thanks.
So you climb a little bit out here, and once you get to the top of this ridge, you're gonna see another jump run. So you're actually going up backwards on the jump run.
God, this is so fun.
So I'm like, these jumps look fun. So instead of you watching me climb up the jumps, I'm just gonna fast forward, and I'm going down what you just saw me coming up. Set the jumps and set it style, Stingo style. This would be fun to session. Like I keep reiterating, I had to get back to the car because I'd already driven, I don't know, close to 5 or 6 hours, and we wanted to get home. So I had one shot to hit all these features, all these jumps, but definitely well-built, fun jumps that I would have liked to have sessioned a little bit if I had time. All right, so that's a jump run. Fast forward. Now we're at the top, and actually once you get to the top, you're on the ridge and you're going right back down the other side of the ridge. So this is another flow down Corydon Ridge. That's a rock drop right there. This trail just keeps on giving it. It's the gift that keeps on giving, Clark. So at this point, you got to climb out a little bit. Actually, you're still going down. This jump. Not this one. Not this one. Not this one. That one.
Damn.
I was like, wow.
It's pretty picky.
It looked a little soft, too. Let's just say that's the reason why I didn't hit it. It looked a little soft. I didn't want to ruin the lip. Not because it was a bootery. I don't know. Which is better, guys? Let's hear from my Hoosiers here. Is Hobbs better or is Breeden Ridge better? That would be a pretty good debate.
Ah.
Here's where you get more to the bottom. But you hit these curves right here. You're gonna have to start climbing up out of it again. Okay. Now you're pretty much towards the top. And this is the last part of Breeden Ridge. This last jump right here used to be the biggest one from what I remember, but obviously that last tabletop that I saw was probably bigger, but this is a pretty good booter right here too. Alright, so I'm going to cut across the berm, thinking that I can get back to the car going that way. I couldn't, so I turned around, and I'm going back down the trail. And essentially right here is where I kind of cut through the grass and got on the trail, but I'm going to hop on the road and essentially get me home. As you can hear, my bike died. There's no assist right there. But hey guys, thanks for riding along. Comment on what you think about Brown County versus Obannon. I loved it, had a blast. Thanks for riding, comment, subscribe, and peace out, suckers! See ya.